everybody, my name is Lacey and I'm with Team Purple and James is presenting as well. We're here today to talk about recruitment of women at Western and how we can change our philosophies a little bit as far as recruitment goes. So at Western, we are mountaineers. That's what we stand for. Western is very focused on the mountains, mountain sports, being outside. I think that's why a lot of students come to Western in the first place. So we want to really capitalize on that and use that to our advantage as we have in the past and as we will continue to do so. So in the Power of Talk, acting modest was a huge thing that women carry with them. We don't always say the things that we want to, and that sometimes comes off as a lack of confidence, which isn't necessarily the case, but a lot of people take it that way, especially men that we're speaking to. So as far as Western goes, as I said, we're mountaineers, and that's very empowering to women if we can live here. It's not easy to live in Gunnison. It's cold. It's cold for a long time, and we have to, as women, learn how to live in this environment and use that to empower ourselves and to be able to do things that, you know, men normally would do. So we're not going to act modest anymore. We're going to use Western and Gunnison in general to break away from that. James is going to talk about being emotionally connected.
So emotionally connected is an important aspect of communication because without it, if you have no emotional connection, any efforts to persuade will not connect with your audience. But on the other hand, if you have too much emotion or the wrong kind of emotion, it won't connect with your audience as well either. So we want to appropriately judge what our audience emotions are and then reflect that in how we're communicating with them, just to have the most effective communication and the most impactful arguments. But we also want to take a little bit more time to develop these relationships, because the more somebody likes you, the more influence you will have over them, and the more impactful your arguments will be to them. So if we take a little bit more time, and specifically, we want to take more time developing relationships with female students, because that is what our target audience is.
So next I'm going to talk about being indirect, which is another trait that women often carry. Again, we don't always say what we want to say, or we don't use it to our advantage, I guess is what the word would be. So in Gunnison and at Western, we're very community oriented. We can go to the store and see professors. We go everywhere around town and see professors, and there's a lot of women at Western, not only professors, but in Gunnison as well, that are very successful business leaders that the business school especially can count on and rely on, and we can have a conversation with these people. So that just brings us to being able to be confident enough to go and speak to them, which is very important, that we are able to learn and grow with, you know, people that have been successful here, especially as women, that we have that opportunity to look up to them, and it's very easy to talk to people around here. So that's important for Western as well. So here's just a few examples of women that have been successful either in Gunnison or at Western in general. And there's a whole list of, you know, very good people that we could rely on.
We also want to be different. We want to capitalize on our differences and show that you can succeed here no matter who you are.
So we have some baseline questions here, and then we can answer some questions as well from you guys. So these strategies are important, you know, as we laid out, because we have to kind of cater to women as far as this is where you're coming, but you should feel empowered here, because even though there's not, you know, as many women as men or whatever, I think that the number's growing, which is great. But there is a future and there is a place for you here that you can be successful, so that's huge.
How are you going to show, like, senior high school women that they can be out here? How are you going to market that stuff?
So on tours or even when coming to Western, kind of highlight that with groups of girls that are coming in, or, you know, young women that are coming in. Highlight the success that has happened and put another girl or woman with the tour, just to explain kind of how we can talk to each other, and it is very influential to have those people above you that you can rely on.
Another great resource is the Women at Western program that Skylar Smith has started. and that would be really useful to kind of just get the information out about that.
Yes.
So just to clarify something from earlier in your presentation, you talked about the emotional connection and relating to the 3 pillars of social communication skills, ethos, pathos, and logic. Ethos, pathos, and logos, so your logic, your emotional connection, and also your credibility. Are you saying to play up pathos, essentially your emotional connection, as well as the credibility of where the message is coming from, but play down the logical connection to the students on why Community West would be good?
I wouldn't say necessarily play anything down. There's obviously things that are going to be more highlighted just to bring that connection together, but since relationships are so important, I would say that yes, those 2 would be highlighted more than the other, but not that it's going to be downplayed either.
Well, and just to match your audience. So if they're feeling overwhelmed, if there's so many statistics, you might want to adjust your logos to reflect then what they're going through and things like that.
Yes.
Are you saying women are more emotional than men?
Yes. Are we not? I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
not
not.
to be sexist or anything, but there are differences in men and women. We all can agree on that. And sometimes emotions play a little bit differently as far as everybody goes. Yes, there's probably men that are emotional too and women that are hard as rocks. But we have to find our audience and cater to that. Yes.
Can you go back to your slide about being indirect?
Sure.
I'm going to have to make this the last question for the other teams to be able to present.
Okay.
So will you explain that? Because to me, at least 2 of the bullet points are promoting being direct, not being indirect.
Okay, so as I said, women tend to be indirect as far as they don't always say what they want to, and especially if it's with their superiors, they're not necessarily going directly to the point of what they're looking for. What 2 bullet points? The first 2 or
The last two.
the last 2? Okay. So using the influential women as your friends, basically, to help you learn and grow with them as they have, and as women in general, to learn how to, talk to each other. Even if you come in with very low confidence and you don't really like to talk to people, we can learn from people in the Valley, just because everybody, like I said, is very community oriented. So we're all here to kind of help each other. So that's how. Does that answer the question?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.